Thanks, Layla. In the news this morning, police discovered the body of a man lying on Interstate 264 just west of the Brambleton Avenue on-ramp. So far, state police have not released many details. We do know the victim is a black man. The Brambleton and Compostela on-ramps to 264 East are closed, as Layla said. 3 lanes of traffic are blocked. There may be some good news for folks who live in Hampton. Last year, the city collected $9 million more than they expected. Now, city leaders are thinking about cutting taxes, but which taxes? Some folks want to reduce the real estate rate. Others think the personal property tax should be cut.
I've been here almost 30 years, and it's way overdue. I think so. It would be nice if they would lower it, help everybody out a little bit anyway.
I think that the personal property taxes are high, but our real estate taxes, I think, are even higher. And I think if we're going to do anything, let's lower the real estate taxes.
Hampton's Commissioner of Revenue says the city's real estate taxes are competitive. He feels the city should cut personal property taxes. There are 3 new members of the Virginia Beach School Board this morning. Former City Councilman Paul Lantain, insurance executive and civic leader Daniel Aris, and attorney Robert Hagans. A group of Virginia Beach judges appointed the men to replace elected board members who resigned in the wake of the $12 million school board deficit. They will all serve 2-year terms. John Hancock Life Insurance Company has donated 400 acres of woodlands in Isle of Wight County to Virginia. The land eventually will be open to the public. State naturalists charged with overseeing the newest acquisitions are now exploring the area. In Chesapeake, fire investigators have been scrutinizing tapes of radio calls made during last month's fatal fire. They're trying to determine why 2 firemen died. The tape includes a call for help by one of those who died. Firefighter John Hudgens breaks into the transmission. Apparently, it was difficult to understand him.
From what we see in this investigation to this point, that at the time that they called for help, with the conditions that we had on the fire scene at the time and the number of people that we had on the fire scene, we simply could not do anything because there simply was not enough time to react.
Chief Cook told 13 News if more firefighters had gone in to rescue John Hudgens and Frank Young, more lives probably would have been lost. A source confirms that former Congressman Dan Rostenkowski has agreed to plead guilty to 2 federal corruption charges. The source close to the case says it's part of a deal under which prosecutors would recommend a sentence of 17 months in jail and a $100,000 fine. Rostenkowski could appear in court as early as this week to enter the plea. The 68-year-old lawmaker allegedly bilked the government out of nearly $700,000. There's a report that O.J. Simpson flunked a lie detector test 2 days after his ex-wife and her friend were murdered. A Los Angeles television station says Simpson's score revealed he was being deceptive. The TV station doesn't say what questions were asked of Simpson during the test or whether Simpson was asked specifically about the killings. The station says Simpson wanted to take the test again after learning about his score, but his lawyer, Robert Shapiro, advised against it. One other famous person in the news this morning, Marlon Brando, is being accused of anti-Semitism for remarks he recently made on national television. Sherry Sylvester has that story.
Marlon Brando is under fire for speaking these words.
Hollywood is run by Jews. It's owned by Jews.
The comments came during an appearance on Larry King Live as the actor criticized Hollywood filmmakers for their ethnic stereotyping of minority groups.
They should have a greater sensitivity about the issue of people who are suffering because they have exploited. We've seen the nigger. We've seen the greaseball, we've seen the chink, we've seen the slit-eyed, dangerous Jap, we have seen the wily Filipino, we've seen everything, but we never saw the kike.
Members of the Hollywood community and the Jewish community are reacting to his remarks many felt were anti-Semitic.
I think he was not only off base in terms of understanding Jewish values and actualities in terms of Jewish leadership and life, but I think that he was entirely inappropriate.
It's not only unfair, it's just simplistic and untrue. There is no monolithic, Jewish entity controlling anything.
Brando said he requested to appear on the broadcast to discuss issues of racism and violence and the recent Riverside beating of illegal immigrants. He denied that his opinions on Hollywood are anti-Semitic.
I will be the first one who will appraise the Jews honestly and say, thank God for the Jews.
Brando made his name through films such as A Streetcar Named Desire, Apocalypse Now, and The Godfather. He has long protested the treatment of Native Americans and sent an actress calling herself Sacheen Littlefeather to accept his Oscar.
We're back with Marlon Brando. He does want to clear up that his criticism of Jewish people who are in positions of significance in Hollywood,
I think
you don't want people to think
no,
that
the Jews have they understand. They know perfectly well what their responsibilities are.
The Militant Jewish Defense League has fired off a letter of protest to Brando, and members of the group plan to boycott his next film. Vandals defaced Brando's star on the Walk of Fame Monday. The black swastika was later removed. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
In Jerusalem, hundreds of Jews celebrated Passover with a visit to the Wailing Wall. Folks streamed onto the paved prayer area in front of the wall and offered their blessings. The occasion was marred when police were forced to stop a group of Israeli extremists from entering a Muslim holy site beyond the wall. The oldest member of the U.S. Senate says he can't quit because he's got too much work to do. Senator Strom Thurmond has announced he'll seek an 8th term. Another term would make the 93-year-old Republican the longest-serving U.S. senator, surpassing the old record of 42 years. And if he wins re-election, he would be 100 years old when his term ends.
Ooh,
That's, the news.
That's pretty scary.
100 years old.
100 years old.
His secret?
His secret?
Bee pollen.
Bee pollen.
Eats it every day.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Has it in his desk.
Yeah.
Takes a little bee pollen out every day.
I'm going to have to get
Keeps
some
him
of
young,
that bee pollen situation. Yeah. Well, what is the situation on the roads? That's what we need to know about.
Layla Rice has that story. Morning, Layla.
Good morning, John. Well, with the situation reported earlier in the news, as you well know, 264 East at Brambleton remains blocked. Only your left lane is open there. Right and center lanes are closed for the police situation. Also, the on-ramp coming on from Brambleton and Compostela is blocked, so motorists heading away from downtown Norfolk this morning will need to use alternate ramps picking up 264. It's heavy this morning on the James River Bridge northbound. Despite the rain, you're chugging right along into Newport News. It's heavy southbound at the Coleman. So far, no scheduled bridge openings. Layla Rice, 13 News, Metro Traffic.
Well, coming up next, will you need that umbrella all day or all week? I'll have the forecast.
And did you ever wonder how the Olympic torch traveled overseas without getting wet? Well, we'll have that story and a look at sports after the break.
This Metro Traffic Report is brought to you by members and partners of the Chemical Manufacturers Association, working for change.
When one chemical company starts cleaning up its act, that's good. When two chemical companies do it, that's better. And when 200 companies get together, they can make a real difference. The members and partners of the Chemical Manufacturers Association make 90% of America's chemicals. And they're making some changes to make a difference for all of us.
What do you think our chances are? You think we're going to get it?
It's unusually heavy traffic heading into town.
Good morning. You ready for this? We are waiting on the announcement on who...
It was the first city in the South to even try.
30 or 40,000. I want to thank everybody for the hard work they've done.
The first American city of its size to win them in nearly 100 years.
Okay, here we go.
In anticipation to find out just... We're going to make the announcement now. The International Olympic Committee has awarded the 1996 Olympic Games
the first city anywhere in the world to win them on its very first attempt.
To the city of Atlanta.
As the first partner for the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, Nations Bank is proud to have played a part in this historic event. Let the games be great.
Rack room shoes.
Shopping.
Unbelievable values. Unbelievable style. Unbelievable brands. Those guys couldn't carry my shoes.
Carry my shoes. Carry my shoes. Honey,
Huh?
would you carry my shoes? Nice store, huh?
Unbelievable.
Rack room shoes. Name brand fashions just for you.
Welcome back. It is 6:07 and we have a very dreary, drizzly morning out there. You will want to start your morning commute early. Let's take a look at the current conditions. We have mostly cloudy skies and rain all throughout the area. On the south side, it's 41, it's 42 on the peninsula. Humidity is 96%. Winds are out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, and the pressure right now is steady. So if we take a look at our radar, oh yeah, we'll put it back a couple of hours, and you can see the range is continuing to move over top of Hampton Roads. We had a little break earlier on, but heavier rain is moving in. Now this should break up probably around 10 or 11 a.m. today, but definitely a messy morning commute, so get in your car and start early. Here's the culprit. We have a low pressure down in the Carolinas that will be moving, that is currently moving over top of our area. Little snow up in D.C., but for us it's just rain and it is cold. The clouds will stay with us during the day. The low pressure will move out into the Atlantic, but by this afternoon we will continue to see mostly cloudy skies. There'll be a little bit of clearing to the west of us. Some clearing will occur overnight tonight, and then for tomorrow it looks like we'll have more sun than clouds. It will still be a little cold tomorrow because we'll be on the backside of this cold front, but nonetheless, at least we won't have any rain for Wednesday. But back to this morning, cloudy and quite chilly. The rain will taper to a drizzle around 10 a.m. The winds will be variable, 10 to 15, and our temperatures will be in the 40s. For this afternoon, the rain will stop. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, but it will be a little windy and chilly with winds out of the northwest. We'll see a high this afternoon of 49. Overnight tonight, it will be partly cloudy and quite cold for April. Winds will continue out of the northwest. We'll see a low overnight of 36. And for Wednesday, we're still on the backside of that cold front, so we'll see a high of only 53 degrees, but at least we will have partly sunny to mostly sunny skies on Wednesday. Here we go for Thursday, partly to mostly sunny skies. Seasonable, I haven't used that word in a long time. We will see a high of 64 degrees on Thursday, which is just terrific. Everybody will be very happy with this 5-day forecast once we get today and tomorrow out of the way. Again, for today, we'll have morning showers, and then in the afternoon, cloudy skies with a high of 49. On Wednesday, we'll have, let's just call it partly cloudy skies, and we'll see a high of 53. Thursday, it's really nice because we'll be seeing mostly sunny skies with a high of 64. I said 64. And Friday is extremely cool because it's my day off and it's mostly sunny and it's 76. And then on Saturday it's real pretty too. So
it's quite not fair because
I know
you get to know which days ahead are going to be nice and you can take them off without.
That is one of the rewards of doing weather. One of the very few. I mean, the rest of the time you get yelled at when it rains. So
well, it all balances out.
It certainly does.
Well, yeah, I know you were wondering how the Olympic torch gets from here to there and not.
I have questioned that for years.
The answer? The Olympic torch is getting a first-class ticket to America. A new Delta Airlines plane was unveiled yesterday, complete with a unique 14-color exterior design commemorating the 1996 Olympics.
Boy, that's really pretty. The plane will fly the torch from Greece to California on April the 27th for the start of the relay to Atlanta and opening day of the Games. The airplane will be used for regular international passenger service, but it will keep its colorful paint job for a while.
Good.
It's pretty hip.
It is that.
Yeah.
Have you noticed the Cubs are still in first place? Mainly because of Mark Eugene Grace. The first baseman's been collecting RBIs by the bunch. It's on to the World Series. At least that's my hunch. And the Tides have been winning in Old Harbor Park, proving they have the hitting and pitching and spark. Baseball, it's such a wonderful game. Other sports pale in comparison or come up quite lame. To the highlights we go for our greatest pastime. Brian Smith has them all and an end to this rhyme.
Norfolk hosting Columbus. Once again, another Tide with his first start. Pat Ahern on the hill, got plenty of defense. Mark Marini, the grounder. Kevin Morgan, the full extension, and gets the out. Columbus does get on the board in the fourth with 2 on. Tim Barker singles to left. That brings home Kevin Northrup and Marini. Clips led 2-0. Norfolk responds down 2-1 in the ninth. Roberto Pettagini goes yard the opposite way. Just that quickly, we're tied at 2. The first homer of the year for the Tides, and they go into extra innings. Home 10th with a runner on. Sean Gilbert with the liner to the left. Marini charging. It's ruled a trap. He comes up throwing. Luis Rivera sprinting home. The throw not in time. The Tides prevail, the final 3-2. The Tides have now won 3 straight. Darnell Whitaker back in the ring. He'll take on Wilfredo Rivera in a 12-round bout. Sweepy, as always, in great shape. Obviously, I didn't ruin his routine in the ring last month. I did ask him if it was the right thing for me to do when I thought about retiring from boxing for good.
You already got my advice. I said that was the best choice you could ever make, to give up this job and let somebody who knows how to do it handle it. Like I said before, You caught me on one of my bad days. I wasn't in shape, but now I figured I can get you there real good.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Brian Smith, 13 Sports.
Coming up on 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, we've got the latest news headlines coming up in just a couple minutes.
That's right. And the Red Cross is raffling off a quilt. We'll tell you about that in a little while.
All that and more as Good Morning continues on Tuesday.